give her like special stuff, which is pretty neat, you know. It was nice to be able to go and get her like specialty food that I only ever saw like expire and stuff. Did I find the axe? No, it's probably over here. It's fine. So yeah, that was kind of like a fun novelty kind of side quest kind of thing. And yeah, after that, when the power did eventually go out, like I had gotten to eat a lot of like fresh and or staling stuff, so that was nice, you know. The cars scare me, they're like metal horses. So I've had like a couple of girls. I do like fully randomized stats. So when I start a character, I throw down like the randomize button until I get a 0, so I don't have to add or remove anything. And I try to grab somebody that has traits that I haven't played with too recently, ideally. So yeah, whatever I get and whatever her thing is whatever I get. Sometimes I keep going. Like they wanted me to have a deaf one like a lot. I'm like, I've had deaf before. I get dead very fast, so I was trying to avoid that. But I've tried like a few of them. It's been interesting because every game's like a bit of a roll of the dice for how bad or how good it is. And some of them are like really good with like ridiculous stuff. Like the girl that had like puny or weak or whatever, I think she was weak. And she did really well. I might actually cut down this tree first. She did really well because like I had to accommodate for the fact that she couldn't really fight and stuff. So I used the car and stuff. I weaponized the car and shit for a while, which was kind of nice, you know. Yeah, what else? Like holding up near farms with those massive water troughs. Never bothered to make rain collectors. I'm guessing that the troughs are what everybody was on about when they're like, oh, you can make something else that's going to give you water sooner. And I'm like, don't spoil shit for me. I'm like, I have seen the troughs around. I just haven't thought it like worth making and shit like for myself. But yeah, no, I've seen them around. I haven't even considered like getting water from them and stuff because it's always like tainted and shit, you know. Also the Fear of Blood girl that I had, she was interesting. She was the most entertaining one I've had so far. Yeah, what else? Make preserve jars and some food. Just require finding some items. Yeah, I'm aware that I can probably like do canning stuff and whatever, but I'm not that worried about it. Like I'm also one of those players that are like making like the most cursed food in in existence, you know. So I'm not too worried if she's like able to like keep fresh stuff. If I find fresh stuff, I'll probably just make her eat it fresh and shit, you know. I tear down all the broken cars, you see. I mean, I did do that for mechanic and shit. I don't mind doing it. It's just, it is a lot of like repetition of like, take out the light bulb, put the light bulb back in. It's like fucking wax on, wax off in space kind of shit, you know. And yeah, I can sit there and I can do it for ages, but I don't know how fucking entertaining it is for you guys, you know. The only reason why I'm trying to take down trees and shit now while they're little is I only need a couple of chops to get them gone. And then I hopefully won't destroy the cars later when these things grow a little bit more. And across the road, I want to cut down some stuff so that I don't, so I don't lose the ability to drive through there, ideally. What else? Look at all those bags. Yeah, I do tend to like hoard bags, unfortunately. I'm going to have a bit of like spare wood around here too. I think we'll remove that one and then I'll go across the road. I'll start looking over there. How many lives you've gone through this world? So this is life number 3. So life number 1 had like Fear of Blood and she was weak and some other stuff. And I actually found she was fantastic. She was so interesting. And I killed like 601 zombies. And then I crawled through a window. Like I was in this house in town, right? I don't want to do that. I want to cut down said tree. There we go. So I was in this house overnight, this like gas station across the road place, right? And I saw one zombie walk inside. There was no door downstairs. And I saw him walk in and I'm like, there's no way he's going to walk upstairs. She was also hard of hearing as well. She was so great. A little hydrate cue. Hold on. My coffee's nearly gone cold, but it has sorted out my stomach, so that's really good. My throat's still sore though. But yeah, I watched him walk inside, and then I watched him like disappear, and it was nighttime, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go sleep, and I'm like, surely she's not making that much noise to where she's going to attract a zombie. Anyway, the next morning I open up the fucking door to go downstairs, and he's right at the door. And of course I do that thing where like I initially like freak out, I'm looking, and the next minute I'm like, you know, I yeet my mouse kind of thing, and I almost turned around. I didn't get bitten. I killed him. It was great. And then I was like, I don't trust downstairs doesn't potentially have other zombies. If he's walked in and walked up, I don't know why he's come upstairs. And so I decided to climb out the balcony and walk down the veranda and then jump down. Except my girl was weak and extremely overloaded, and I didn't know that just meant fully just crumpled on landing. So yeah, she died. That was probably one of the like most frustrating deaths, because I'm like, she was doing so great. And there was not even any zombies actually downstairs when I came back, because obviously I had to come back to get my shit and stuff, right? And there was nothing else downstairs. And I'm like, you're shitting me. I died for nothing. So that was a little frustrating. My next girl, I don't even really remember her that much. I just literally don't remember. I'm not even sure how I died. I wonder if I've got that written down. I don't have it written down. I don't really have like what happened to the last one, like just as like a brief log and shit. But anywho, I don't know what happened to her. I can't remember. But yeah, I got this one, and she's great so far. She was like really glitched out. She's like brawler and unfit, but the very first things that happened was like, she wouldn't like auto drink and stuff, and so I'm like, oh shit, you know, she's probably gonna die, because like I have to manually make her take sips of water even if it's in her, you know, main inventory she wasn't drinking. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with her, but I like, if she's gonna die, she's gonna die. So I think I took her into town. She might be too stuffed to cut this down, maybe. Yeah, she needs a second. I might see if I can collect some wood, and then I'll come back over here if that's the case. It's not going to make her like any lighter and shit, but she does seem like she's a little bit exhausted. So we'll see. And I'll catch up on what you guys have been asking and stuff. Yeah, so I don't know how skills are quiet as used to be. Oh yeah, that's fair. The rosewood is not quiet. Ever told you it was punky? You see, that's the only thing. It's like a lot of the time when it comes down to like advice and games and stuff, I can like, unless I have experience in the game myself. If I'm experienced at it, obviously I know. But like, if somebody gives me advice, it could get me dead. And honestly, if anybody ever gives me advice and it gets me dead in a game, it's not, oh haha, that's hilarious, it's your band, fuck off, you know. Thanks for like ruining whatever I had going and stuff, you know. So yeah, it's only like, if you're gonna give advice, at least like it should be like good actual advice kind of thing. Not something that's like gonna get me dead, or you know, harm my character or something like that. So yeah. But yeah, there's times with that where I'm like, I don't know. Like for instance, I knew of like roughly like burnt food can sometimes kill you, but I didn't know why. So at one point I just randomly found like a burnt pork chop or some shit, and I ate that. And obviously like didn't know that the way that it works is apparently because it's burnt, they don't have like a separate thing for that. So it just counts as like being spoiled or rotten or something. So yeah, when your person eats it, they basically just die the same way they would to like food poisoning essentially. So that's interesting. But yeah, I just didn't want to start in Rosewood. Everybody kept suggesting it. I'm like, I just don't want to. So I just went with like West Point. I've kind of just sort of stayed roughly up here. I'm kind of walking her back home because she's obviously exhausted and she can't cut down more trees. I do want to cut down more trees, but she needs to have a break. So I might sit her down and get her some fresh food and stuff, and we'll see. Also just stockpiling wood for winter because I know how useful that is, you know. It's a power outage right now. It can be brutal sometimes. You mean in game? Because like I haven't found like the power outage to really be an issue. Like when I started playing, it definitely was. It was like, oh god, what do I even do kind of thing. Like it was like panic, you know. But I really don't like have too much of an issue with it. Like, I mostly have her eat canned goods or like, you know, longevity food and shit. I did find that like buckets and stuff would subdue for like water. I used to have like a massive pile of empty cups and everything outside just to collect water. I currently have like all those spare like pots and pans and shit inside at the moment because I just don't have somewhere to put it. But yeah, I've got the rainwater tanks now, which is nice. Oh, thank you for the follow, Spectre. Also, I usually play Zomboid on Fridays for anybody that's like new in and might want to know about that. So generally really consistent with that unless like I have time off rigging, which I'm doing a lot of this year. So there's like a few days where I'll miss and shit, but I'd only let you know. What else? Like Echo 2, gas station is very roomy because candidate of rural stuff. See, I have no idea of that's existence. I wasn't sure what you guys were talking about with Echo, and I'm like, yeah, just don't drop any locations, ideally. If I stumble across a place, neat. If I don't, I lose out, I guess, you know. Hey, OMG. How you doing? Deaf is rough trait and there's no way to get over it in game. I got like, one of my characters was deaf like really early on. It was one of the few ones that I randomized super fucking early on. I don't have more wood spot to put stuff at the moment. Just a slight problem. I don't want to stockpile like a fuck ton of logs here, but I might have to just like stockpile a fuck ton of logs again. Can I also drop this? I just want to drop this on the ground because I will cut up all the wood and shit later. All right, gonna need her to take a break, and I can't go back across the road like straight away. Read like most of the flyers, most of the maps, most of the skill books. I think I've read all the skill books. Let's get you, like, I could get her something more interesting, but I would rather her spend some time getting some kind of a skill if I could. I got mechanics 1, but I don't think I've worked on, no, I definitely haven't worked on anything. That's useless. I could make her what? Let's fuck it. Let's give her like, not that one. Random miscellaneous book time, I guess. Sit her ass down, let her have like a little bit of read. I might feed her and then put her to bed or whatever. And then see if she's good to go back out and cut down the rest of the trees. They're only like little trees, but I do want them cleared out for winter and shit. Or just in general so that I can still drive through there, ideally. So, yeah. Friend is deaf IRL, so she just picks it for 3 points. See, that would make sense though. That's a really good way to like play that, is because like, yeah, in reality, if you're deaf, if you legitimately have like low or no hearing and stuff, you can actually pick like whatever your trait is in the game. Like I know there's what is it, like short vision or something like that. Like there's a vision one where you can correct it with glasses and crap. And I've picked that before. I find that really interesting. But like I said, because I don't pick my skills and traits and stuff like that, I'm not really worried about like what else I can get for it kind of thing at this time. But it's still kind of neat. Yeah, short-sighted. There you go. I knew it was something. I'm like, it's low vision near something. It's, I don't know. The trials are good, but you can't do plumbing with it. So I've given my character free... Was it Fear of Blood because it's fun? Roleplay stuff. Yeah, so like I haven't done like... I'm not really like a role player for games and stuff like that myself, but I have found some of the traits to be like a genuine fun novelty and stuff. Like at first I tried to go for like Cat's Eye, and I tried to go for like Desensitize and stuff. I was trying to get stuff that made her like tank and useful and able to like do more shit and stuff. And then I was like, very quickly, I'm like, this is okay, but it's not that great. And then like we got like hard of hearing. I like hard of hearing, except that I had a hard of hearing girl when I had several cars, and I didn't know you had to take the key out of the ignition to turn the car off. Like most games, you just hop out, right? So I had 7 cars worth of fuel plus extra fuel, and they idled out of 7 cars worth of fuel. And I didn't know that because she couldn't hear shit. When I got a hearing character, she like I was like, what the fuck is that noise? Because the car kept stalling or some shit. I'm like, why is the car stalling when it's off? Like when I'm obviously not in it and stuff. Yeah, anyway, it was still running. So that was interesting for me. And then I've had like high thirst. I don't mind high thirst. I think that's kind of neat. What else is there? There's Fear of Blood was an interesting one because like this girl from basically like not this one specifically, but one of the first girl I got on this map, she was like Fear of Blood, and every time she got like a tiniest speck of like blood on any of her stuff, she'd freak out. So like weaponizing the cars was like super useful for that. But I didn't really mind the maintenance because like I have OCD hand washing and hygiene and stuff in real life. So like I wash myself pretty frequently, and I like washing my character pretty frequently just because like that's probably the closest you guys get to me actually doing any kind of roleplay stuff. But her having the Fear of Blood meant that I had to wash her stuff frequently. And I'm like, this works for me. I found something, you know? So that was pretty neat. Like, I don't think I have anything else that kind of does that kind of thing. I'll give her like several eggs and we'll go back outside because it's still kind of early morning. If I can, I'll just get her to sit down again because she must be still carrying... Oh, that's right. We still got wood. Okay, hold on. Let me go dump this off on the floor. That way she's not carrying it. I don't think she's got any more stuffed around the place. Okay, I was wondering why she was like overweight. I'm like, she is also carrying a lot of gear, like a lot of layers. I didn't know you could layer the fuck out of these people. I'm not really like equipped for layering stuff. I'm in Australia, so we don't usually do layers unless like you're down south and shit, in which case like you need it for like the wind chill and shit. But like where I am, it's like tropical, right? So even when it's winter, like you just have like shirt, pants, jumper, socks, enclosed shoes, and you're mint, right? So, but I'm also freezing my ass off. I tend to wear like up to like 2 full like layers of clothes at this point. There's like, you know, a shirt, long sleeve shirt, possibly pants. I don't like layering pants. I can't stand it. But I have like the jumper, and then I have obviously like socks. I'll have like sometimes a couple of layers of socks and shit. So I didn't know that you could like layer like a fuck ton of like jackets and shit on your person, which is partially why she's so hot all the time. But also like I found out that it's great bite protection. So that's kind of neat, you know. What else? It's not like having myself clean. Yeah. I do appreciate being able to do it. Obviously, once the water runs out, it's a little bit harder to do, but it's not too difficult to do. Sit your ass down and get you to snack on a few eggs, then we'll go across the road and we'll keep chopping down a clearing. If I keep on it, I don't have to chop down ginormous trees come winter and stuff, so it could be better for her, you know. I love chopping trees. Love telling the truth. Oh yeah. What is it? When life gives you lemons, you create a van and sell them. So, hey, Abra, how you doing? I'm a little bit behind on messages, but I'm catching up. Don't worry. How you been, man? I actually like lemons. I just fucking eat lemons as they are and stuff. Obviously, like, not the rind, but I eat the rest of them. So, life gives you lemons. I get fed. So, there's that. Although, I have to be careful these days because apparently, like, eating a shit ton of lemons over a long, like, lifespan and shit will fuck up your teeth. And nobody's ever explained how that works specifically, but I figured it out when I started having, like, dental sensitivity and shit. So the way it kind of works is it erodes your, like, enamel and crap, but it erodes it between where you actually, like, have, like, your bite force shit. So, like, not necessarily on the front and the back of your teeth. So that's horrible. So now when I like chew stuff, it's just like, it hurts. And I'm like, nice. But I still like lemons. I still want to eat lemons, but I know how bad they are for me. So like for my teeth, but I still like them. So yeah, that sucks. But I don't know. What else? Sippies. Sippies indeed. I was doing the spamming hydrate because when I woke up, I had a really, really fucking sore throat. And I also had an upset stomach. And I'm like, there's a chance that like the coffee could make me sicker or it could fix the issue. And whatever it's done, it's like resolved the issue of like my stomach being upset. which is nice. But my throat's still kind of like dry, so I'm still like sipping on, at the moment, cold coffee and a bit of water. Hold on, let me have some water. I'll cut down that while I drink. There we go. Alright. Maybe a bit insane, but restart if I die. In single player at least. I mean, there are a few people that do that. Aberrant Chat is one of the people that does do that. At least I think you start new maps every time. Not always, but sometimes. And yeah, it's like what playing on like more of a hardcore kind of like singular life kind of mode. I fully get that logic with Project Zomboid because it's like it was one of the key components that I had a beef with Zomboid in general was I didn't like the fact that when you died, you didn't still have skills. Like you seemed to transfer into like another version of yourself. At first, my thought process was that you just reappear on the map as yourself somewhere else, and that didn't make any sense. Now I look at it more as like my person has died, and there are other survivors in the world, and I am now getting to see their perspective. It's just that their perspective is a little weird because like one day I just wake up mid-apocalypse and just beeline for some house halfway across like the suburb, and then a killer zombie assume they're everything and just take up existing in their base. Like, it's a little bit weird. But like, you know, it helps me. It helps me deal with Zomboid. So yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. The hoarding bag is never bad. You have infinite floor space. I mean, the only thing I don't like is that like you end up with like so many little like bags that your character will try to put shit in while you're trying to put it in a cupboard or something. It's so annoying, you know. Is it post-apocalyptic identity theft? Indeed, it basically is. I just go and assume somebody else's life, which is weird because if you think of it like that, just one day I wake up and I'm possessed to just go across the map and assume somebody else's like existence. It's very weird. I don't know if I can remove these, but it's fine. Can I get rid of the bush? It wasn't say, and there we go. No, we don't want to fucking, I'm not up to that shit yet. Hold on. Why aren't you letting me click on you? Okay, that bush might not exist. Okay, it could just be bush out. It could just be because it's raining as well. I also like the fact that you might be able to maybe collect water from the ground. I've never tried, but I like the fact that if there's a puddle, you can use it. Or maybe wash yourself. I think I might be able to wash myself. Yeah, you can wash your stuff in a puddle. That's neat. I like that. Yeah, I don't want to dig the stuff with the bare hands. I just want to... Yeah, okay, now I can remove it. Alright, I just had to get back on the bush setting. I'll get rid of these ones as well, because there's like a cluster of them that's like real thick further down. There is also a house just beneath where I am, just a little bit over this way. I want to go check out that too, but I wanted to wake up like a bit first, which is why I'm doing like tree cutting, inventory management stuff. Like it all has to be done anyway, but if I can just wake up for a hot minute so I just don't walk over and immediately die, that would be amazing. I've done that before. I'm like, let's go kill zombies. I walk outside, get dead. I'm like, now I gotta start again, you know? But yeah, I don't mind like the hardcore save game style and stuff like that. I do find that like, because of like the severity of Zomboid, like where you could die at literally any minute to like the smallest fuck up or overconfidence and stuff, right? I do think feels a little unfair for like actually existing in the world, but I do think it would be very easy to be nomadic in this. Like I've got a mate that loves playing like a nomadic lifestyle. So whenever he's like in a zombie game and shit, he only carries what he can carry on his back. He'll scavenge for what he can find in like cupboards and containers and shit, and then like if he can't find food in one house, he'll have to go to the next house and stuff like that, and that works for him and stuff. I'm like, it makes sense. Like, it would be very easy to never actually bunker down and stuff, but I'm like, I am just not the kind of person that's just kind of free existing kind of thing. I like to have permanence in some capacity. In this game, I like to have like a location that I can come back to even as like a new person and stuff. And kind of like always know that I've at least got gear even if I don't have the same person, you know. It makes it a little bit easier for me to kind of like experience different traits and different people and stuff that I get to try out and shit, you know. Just kind of nice. As I only ever try to give general tips. Oh yeah. No, that's all right. I'm just saying, like, I had it in like a few games, especially like early game and stuff. There was people like would come in and be like, "Oh, you new player. It's like you should hold down Q or something like that," and like, you know, to try to like get you to scream and stuff for the shits and giggles and stuff. Especially in like high density zombie areas and stuff. Like, I just don't appreciate when people do that. I know some people get like a legit giggle out of it. I just like, don't be a dick, you know. That one's the bush as well. I should be able to walk back through this a little bit. She's starting to get exhausted. So if I work my way back through a couple of these, we're almost all the way through. It's pretty clear now. There was just like a lot of small shrubs and just trees and shit. And I remember in the game where we got through to winter, this fully overgrew with full-size trees. And it was just such a fucking effort to cut them down. And I know that this gives me like a lot of like small kindling and shit. I can't get rid of them. It gives me a lot of like little kindling, but I'm not too upset with that. Like, I'll have logs, I've got planks, I've got all that sort of stuff. I can definitely do fire starting. I just need something to kind of like keep a fire stoked and be able to take my car through here cleanly. Plus also, if it's more barren on the side of the road, I might not drive past here as much. I also want to use the sledgehammer to knock a hole in the fence, which I never normally do. But over back on my side of the road, I want to sledgehammer a hole so that I can take the car through in case I do drive past this corner again. So I don't have to drive all the way around, ideally. Save a bit of fuel, you know? So my rat race is going, it's also in West Point. Where on the map are you located? I'm located, I know this is a bit behind Abra, but I'm located up near the cemetery church, whatever it is. Above like the school in West Point, so like up on the sort of S-bend up here kind of thing. I do find that this area is like nicely dead, as in like, you know, no zombies, not as in like there's a lot of zombies because dead, you know. So it's confusing in the apocalypse how it is, but yeah, no, it's relatively quiet. Gives me time to kind of breathe between going and like dealing with the zombies and shit. So at the moment, I haven't really fought a zombie for like a hot minute. I don't think we fought one last time I played, but I will have to go and fight some soon. Like, I'll check out that house and other stuff. Get rid of that bush as well. What else? Honestly, I found all the towns have good and bad things, starting points. Yeah. Well, so far, like, I've explored a bit. I do want to get to a point where obviously I have got a vehicle, we have got a bit of food supplies stocked up for winter, and before winter I can kind of go for a bit of a zip around and explore stuff, because once winter actually sets in, I'm kind of like stuck at home, because I can't keep her from getting sick when I'm out and about because it's cold, and I'm not that good at figuring out like that shit yet. But I do have like at least a plan for when winter hits and stuff, and keeping her around the place. So it's not like I don't have like options. I just want to try to get the resources, try to find the shit that I want. I've got like a fuck ton of generators around. I've got a shit ton of fuel, and yeah. Otherwise, we're pretty good. There's still a couple more bushes back there, but I'll just get rid of a couple of extra shrubs up along here because this is where I'm supposed to come in, essentially. What else? Survived 3 deep wounds from zombies and dies to nibble burnt popcorn. Somebody survives. I haven't done that yet. I did set a house on fire by putting a pot or something in a microwave because it was metal, which is funny because I don't know if you guys know, but these days I see people literally putting like metal stuff in microwaves and it not being a problem. Like, whatever the newer microwaves are, a lot of the very, very new ones don't seem to be affected by having metal products in them. Obviously there's no fucking way to like test that specifically without like potentially burning down your kitchen and shit, so don't do that. But I've noticed people doing it, like leaving forks or putting like metal like containers and foil and shit in like the microwave. I'm like, what are you people even doing? Did you want fire? This is how you get it. But yeah, I don't know, as a game mechanic, I was a little bit surprised that that was something that was included was, yeah, you actually have to be careful of that crap. I will hydrate, Nuke. Hold on. I'll go cut down that while I hydrate. Hold on. Alright. Thank you for that. Honestly, the cold water is kind of helping. Did my thing break or something? No? Why'd you stop? Are you exhausted? Okay. I think she's exhausted at this point. So I'll kind of walk around and I'll grab whatever kind of like twigs and shit I can. And I'll walk that home. We'll take another break for her. Like, I think I could take like a brief break and then get back out in the same kind of daytime. But I should go top up her water and crap. So we'll do that in a hot minute. Yeah, no, I haven't like done that kind of a thing, but I have, like, I've done foraging for mushrooms and eaten the mushrooms and died to that. I had a girl that was like high thirst and she woke up in the middle of the night in her car and I couldn't figure out why she like wouldn't sleep through. Like, she didn't have any issue or anything like that I could see that wasn't immediately obvious. But yeah, she was dying of thirst and I didn't know that you could do that.